Okay, so a few days ago I just recorded the video about my struggles of trying to get pregnant, and while I recorded that I was actually in my 2-week wait. And let me just tell you, this 2-week wait has been the hardest one by far. I've been psyching up myself so freaking hard. About a week ago I got a pimple on my chin, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if it's my hormones from the implantation period? Which wouldn't have been accurate at all, because that would have been right around my ovulation time, which I guess I could have gotten a pimple from my hormones changing because I was ovulating. And then like a few days ago I just got this, I know it's very small, but you can see my little pimple there, and I was like, I hardly ever get pimples. I usually get a period pimple, but my period I guess wasn't due for like quite a few other days, so I was like, oh, why did I get this pimple already? And so I'm like, oh, maybe it's, you know, my hormones from implanting. And then for like the last couple of days I've been feeling like lighter cramps in my uterus, and I normally don't really feel that much cramps unless it's like literally the day before I'm getting my period, but I've been feeling it for the last couple of days. And I was like, you know, some women have like been saying that they feel some cramps when they're implanting, but that was probably around 3 to 4 days post-ovulation. And I was reading online, implantation doesn't happen. It usually happens between like 6 to 12 days or 6 to 14 days. With you implanting on the 6th day post-ovulation is like a 0.5% chance. Meanwhile, 95% chance of implanting happened between 8 to 10 days post-ovulation. So I'm like, okay, there's no way that's cramps from implanting. And I just, you know, then I started thinking, and I was like, oh, I'm thinking about all of these symptoms that could be me implanting, and I was so hopeful. And then just yesterday I was so freaking sad, because I've come to realize that, you know what, I'm just too much in my head about what symptoms could be implanting. And the reality is there's really no scientific base on whether or not you can feel like they haven't found any scientific correlation of implanting and symptoms yet. It's just a matter of like some women experiencing and some not. And for me, I was just thinking, I've been reading so many articles about implantation that I probably just put so much thought in my head that my body started to feel it, if that makes sense. Kind of like placebo effect almost. And so yesterday I was just so down, and I was like, you know what, I'm probably not pregnant. But I just, you know, so much hope. And I went through so many different websites trying to track exactly which day my ovulation was, because my period kind of been fluctuating. Like on average, as I said in my last video, it was about 35-ish days, but I haven't been tracking my period for that long. And some months was like 36, 37 days, some months were 30, 40, then etc. So it kind of puts off your ovulation a little bit. And so yesterday would have been technically 7 days post ovulation. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. I was telling my husband like, which by the way, yesterday I was so freaking bitchy to him, which was another, like, I was like, oh man, wow, I'm so fucking mean today. Like, is that another symptom? And the worst part is most of these symptoms are associated with period, and because my period isn't super like date specific, wow, what am I trying to say, like date specific regular, like, you know, some women it's 28 days every month, no matter what, whatever it is. So I was just like, you know, maybe I'm just getting my period a little bit earlier than I expected. And then so I was just like, you know what, I'm probably not pregnant, but at the same time I'm only 7 days post ovulation. And I tried so hard to wait until Friday. Today's Sunday, so today's Saturday. So I tried so hard to wait until Friday not to test. But like yesterday I was just crying and I was just like, I know I'm not pregnant, but you know, maybe what if I am? And I don't know if I can go through another month of me waiting 2 weeks like this. I was just so emotional, and my husband was comforting me and blah 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 blah. And so this morning I took a test, even though I'm like, today is technically what, day 8 or 9 post ovulation. Honestly, I'm losing track of my fucking numbers, but this morning I took a pregnancy test, and can you see the I don't know how to get this camera to focus, sorry, I'm a newbie. Can you see that second line there? So this morning that came up, and I don't know how to feel, because I'm scared that it's a false positive. I'm scared that it's a false positive, you know. But then I took a test again just about 5 minutes ago, and it's only been probably 12 hours since I took the first test, and there's another line, so I'm going to show you. I accidentally showed you the one that I just took, not the morning one, but so can you just focus? So the first one is the one that I took this morning, and the bottom one is the one that I just took about 5 minutes ago. And I'm still scared that it's a false positive, because this is like the cheap dollar store one, just because every month I've been like testing and testing and testing, and it gets really expensive to buy the really expensive one. So I figured if this shows positive, then I go buy the expensive one. But the thing is, so it's one of the pink tests, so when you pee in it, the white part, the entire thing becomes pink, and then the lines darken. And so the lines were a little bit difficult for me to see when it was all pink, and then when it turns like whitish, then I could see the second line. But I'm like tripping out, because what if it's just kind of showing that way? I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to talk myself out of it or what, but like, what if, because these have to be read within a very specific time frame. Once you read it after that time frame, then it's considered bullshit or whatever it is. I'm just wondering, once it turns white, does that mean it's out of the time frame already and whatever shows is crap? Or am I actually pregnant? I just 2 tests. So I'm going to take another one tomorrow morning before the gym, and if I have another positive, then I might just tell my husband. And I want to cry because I'm so happy, because like, I'm not joking when I tell you this was the hardest 2 weeks. But I'm also so scared to feel happy that I'm pregnant, because I'm just scared. What if it's a false positive? Or, you know, I've been thinking about miscarriages a lot, and I'm scared. What if I miscarry? I'm just very stressed about the whole trying to get pregnant thing, that so I think once I buy the more expensive test and that shows me that I'm pregnant, then maybe I will feel relieved and excited. But right now I don't know how to feel, and I don't know. It's just, I know we've only been trying for 4 months, but to me, like, I feel like I'm just like, holy crap, 4 months, like, that's so freaking long. But it's not long. It's not long. The average is, you know, to get pregnant is about 3 to 6 months, and there's some women out there who take a year to 7 years or whatever it is. So like, I guess I could say that I'm lucky that I, you know, got pregnant 4 months in, but it's also been a really difficult journey for me. And so I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I take the next test, and let's see if it's positive. And then I will also film when I take the pricier one, and I also can't wait to film when I tell my husband that I might be pregnant. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight and wait until tomorrow morning to see if my HCG level is increased, but yeah, I just wanted to rant about that for right now. Thanks. Hey, so this morning before the gym I took another cheap dollar store test, and I got another line. And so today at the grocery store I went to buy the expensive test, and as I was reading the instructions I was kind of nervous because it was like, if you're testing before your period, then you need the first pee of the day, and if you're testing after the period, then any pee of the day works fine. And I'm pretty sure I'm still technically before my period. Honestly, I'm losing track of all the days. So I got the expensive one. And can you see that? I'm actually fucking pregnant, you guys. I'm pregnant. And so, me and my husband's anniversary was about, it was January 1st. Our anniversary was January 1st, and today is February 9th. And I didn't get him a gift this year yet. The theme was cotton, and so his birthday is about 2 weeks before our anniversary date, and I got him his favorite soccer team in the world is Manchester City. So for his birthday I got him like a training shirt. And so then as I was browsing their website, I saw these little cute onesies, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll get one of these onesies, and when I'm pregnant I will give it to him. And I thought that could kind of be a duo of our anniversary present, and like, hey, I'm pregnant, kind of like surprise. But I ended up not being pregnant last month, so I just kind of held on to it. So I teased him this morning and I told him, hey, I got your anniversary gift finally last week, and maybe I'll give it to you today. So now that I have the expensive pregnancy test that says I'm pregnant, I'm going to give him his gift today. So when my husband and I got married, I didn't take his last name, and we're still debating on how we're gonna hyphenate our last name for our kid. But and his last name is hyphenated, so he's gonna have to drop one so then we can hyphenate my last name. And so look at these cute little Manchester onesies, and the first part of his last name is, I got it on the back, and I think he's just gonna be so excited. So I will film that when I show him, so stay tuned. If we look like crap, it's because I literally just came back from the gym and he just got out of the shower. So are you ready for our anniversary gift? Are you nervous? Are you excited? You really think it's bed sheets?
It's 6 weeks late.
I know it's 6 weeks late. That's okay. Come sit. Are you scared? Hold on. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
I told you all those ideas in the car.
Yeah, it's not definitely not bed sheets.
You don't think bed sheets could fit in here?
Oh, actually, they could. I don't know. It's matching something for you and I.
Do you think I got us matching something?
Yeah. All right.
What do you think we can get matching that could fit in here? Or you think that I've only put yours in here and my matching one is somewhere else?
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, are you ready?
You sexy, yeah.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah, where'd you get this?
I ordered it when I got your jersey. I pre-anticipated.
Did you take the test?
Yeah.
You're pregnant? Are you serious?
Serious. So I took one yesterday morning. That's probably the one from yesterday. This one was yesterday morning. This one was yesterday night. This one was this morning. And so I went and bought the expensive one at Superstore. That's why I wasn't in the produce section. And that's the expensive one. It's
And you were giving me shit this morning, man.
I know. Was it good gift?
Yeah. I love you.
Okay. Oh, I think the little onesies. Look at you, even says he's out on the phone.
I know, I saw. And on the black one, too. I love it.
So this was supposed to be, I was supposed to give this to you closer to our anniversary date because I thought maybe that we would be pregnant last month, but we weren't, so I held on to it.
So you've had this for how long?
Since I ordered your birthday present.
Really? You've had that for that long?
I didn't want to, well, I was buying your jersey.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's a cute way to tell Brayden I'm pregnant, and I didn't want to pay for duty 2 times. I didn't want to pay for shipping and duty twice, so I bought it. And I've had it ever since. Are you scared?
Oh, that is happening. Like, it's...
I know. To be honest, I don't even... I'm nervous. Hey, so I look like crap right now, but that's okay. I haven't filmed for over a week, actually. Almost 2 weeks, week and a half. And I even feel a little bit awkward filming this now just because of the situation. Only my sisters and my mom knows what happened. My husband's parents don't know. His brother doesn't know. Aunts don't know. So, you know, none of my friends know, and it's weird for me because this is gonna go on the fucking internet for everyone to see, but in this moment it doesn't feel like I'm telling the whole world. And hopefully my friends and family never stumble on this channel, but in this moment, to me, it just feels like me talking out loud to myself just to process what happened and to kind of maybe help me heal and move forward with trying again. But so on the Sunday, I told my husband that I was pregnant. On the Tuesday, I went to go see my doctor, and he sent me to a lab to get my blood work done. And the blood work takes about a week. So me and my husband were going to wait the week until the blood test confirmed my pregnancy, and then we were going to tell our close family members. But you know, I'm a hard stressor, and when I've come to terms that I was actually pregnant, I started stressing out so much about, you know, miscarriages and and every little thing that could go wrong. And on the Wednesday night, I started feeling like sharp cramps. I started kind of getting worried, but I was like, oh, you know what, it's probably just a pregnancy symptom. And Thursday morning, I was cramping a lot more. It was constant cramping in my lower abdomen, and then it was like really sharp pains coming and going on top of the cramping. And then I started bleeding, and I started panicking, and I was just like, you know what, maybe it's just delayed bleeding. Like, some women do bleed within the first couple months of being pregnant. And so I started researching, I started Googling, and you know, most of the normal bleeding that happens early on is implantation bleeding, but it's more like spotting. But I was bleeding like a light period, and you know, I just tried to stay a little bit positive. I went over to my sister's house as I planned the day before, and I went to go use her washroom, and I was bleeding a lot more, and I just come to terms, and I was like, holy fucking shit, like, I'm 100%, I just lost my pregnancy. I didn't think I would cry in this video, because I thought I cried so much last week already, but... And so I came out of her bathroom, and I was like, I was just crying. I was like, I think I just lost my pregnancy. And she was just kind of in a what the fuck mode, because she didn't even know I was pregnant. And so I was sitting there, and I was like, you know what, like, do I need to go to urgent care? Like, either I'm miscarrying or it's an ectopic pregnancy, which is where the embryo starts to grow outside of your uterus where it's not supposed to. And my sister was like, oh no, don't go to urgent care, maybe go back to that doctor you saw. So I went back to the doctor about an hour later, and I was like, you know what, I'm bleeding, I'm cramping severely. And he was like, why'd you come here? You should have went straight to the hospital. And I was like, well, I just want to confirm that what I think is happening is happening. And so I went to the emergency room by myself. My husband was working, so I didn't want him to leave work and come wait with me. I didn't, you know, my sisters offered to wait with me, and I didn't want them to leave work to wait with me. So I was waiting, and the ER doctor saw me. They took my blood work. Because it was so early on in the pregnancy, she couldn't see anything with the topical, what's the fucking word? Ultrasound, topical ultrasound. And she said, you know what, you can come back tomorrow and we could do the probing ultrasound, which is the one where they stick the wand up your hoo-ha, and we'll recheck your blood work to compare HCG levels. But in the meantime, they haven't even told me my results for the blood test that day. So I was waiting around, and she told me, and she was like, your HCG levels are 6. It's 6 right now. And she said, you know, that's really low considering you had a positive pregnancy test like 4 days ago or whatever, 4 or 5 days ago. And if anything, your miscarriage is happening right now, or it's towards the end of your miscarriage. But you know, do you still want to come tomorrow to do the probing ultrasound, do the blood test to confirm that the miscarriage has been completed? It's either that or I wait a few days and take a pregnancy test, and if it comes up negative, then my miscarriage is done. And so I said, you know what, I can't wait that long, I'd rather know. So the next day, the Friday, my husband came with me to do the probing ultrasound, and they didn't find anything in my uterus, no signs of the pregnancy, and my HCG levels dropped down to 2, which means that I'm no longer pregnant. They say the 2 is the benchmark. Anything more than 2, then pregnant, and anything 2 or less, not pregnant. And so that just kind of confirmed that, you know, my miscarriage is done. And I know it was really early on in my pregnancy, so I mean, at that point it's called like a chemical pregnancy, which happens 1 out of 3 times. And for most women, they don't realize that they had a chemical pregnancy. But me, because I was being so obsessive and testing and, you know, actively trying to conceive, I knew that it was a chemical pregnancy and not just a like delayed period. And the crazy part is, you know, if I strained myself from not testing early and, you know, waited to see if I actually fully missed my period, then when I had the miscarriage, honestly, I would have just thought that it was a more painful period, because my mom and my sisters, they have endometriosis. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm, you know, maybe it's starting to happen to me or whatever it is. But because I knew I was pregnant and then I was cramping and bleeding, then I knew it was a miscarriage instead of just a worse off period. So I don't know. I don't know what the word is, you know. It's not, I don't feel lucky or I don't feel grateful or glad. But I don't know what other word to use, but you know, relieved isn't even a good word to use, but either way, it's better to have happened this early in the pregnancy than later on if I were to miscarry. So I guess I'm relieved that if I were to miscarry, which I did in this instance, then that it was as soon as it was, then it was later, because I think it would have been so much harder if you know, I had an ultrasound and I saw my baby in there, or if I heard the heartbeat, but I didn't experience any of that. So I think, and I'm not to say that I don't feel any pain from this experience, which I do, I just think the whole situation would have been a lot worse for me to experience if I had seen my baby in there during an ultrasound, or if I had heard the heartbeat, which is why I'm trying really hard to say, you know, I lost my pregnancy versus I lost my baby, because I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just know that it could have been a lot worse if I was further along. So yeah. So finding out I was pregnant, telling my husband, and miscarrying happened all within 5 fucking days. And you know, those first few days we were so excited. I couldn't sleep, and I was doing all my research on, you know, which cloth diapers are the best brands, which strollers are the best brands. I was, you know, drafting up a registry, not essentially for the baby shower, but just kind of for me to also keep track of what I need to buy, to keep track of my research and which brands I wanted to buy of certain items. And so I was just already in my head about this baby, you know. But you know, I'm glad I didn't make any any purchases within that time, because I think that would have been really hard for me. But yeah, I just want to share this because it is an experience that goes hand in hand with, you know, me finding out I'm pregnant and me telling my husband, and it's everything that I've experienced this month. And I just want to make sure that it's been noted somewhere. Yeah. So I don't even know what else to say, really. I mean, what do you say? You know? Do I want to really tell anyone else? Not really. You know, me recording this and saying this out there is just me alone with my thoughts, and versus me telling someone, you know, where they can respond. It's just, I don't want them to respond. Because I don't know how to react emotionally, and I don't know how to respond back to their response. I don't want, you know, their sympathy or anything like that for me to. Those are just emotions that I don't want to experience right now. So I just want to deal with my own emotions, and that's that. I don't want to deal with anybody else's emotions. So yeah, why not put this on the fucking internet for everyone to see? I don't know. Why not? No proper thoughts up in here. But that's that. So we're out.